So, it is the first week of April, the start of a whole new financial year 2024-2025. And if you're someone who's wondering how to make the financial year kick-ass for you, well, this video is just for you. Hi, my name is Anita and you're watching me on my YouTube channel, Slate with Anita. Well, what is one mantra I follow when I want to start the financial year in a great way? Well, Simhavalokana. What is it? Let's watch. I'm sure some of you have heard this term before. Simhavalokana means that the way a lion really uses his eye movements. For every few steps forward, a lion actually tends to glance back. Now that's exactly what I will do in the very first week of April, or rather I have started doing in the last couple of days, where I will take a strong report card of how the past year has been, and then how could I really plan better for the upcoming year. Well, do you want to know how did I fare last year? So when I checked what are the things that I did well last year, I realized that the previous year goal that I had set of increasing my overall investment by 20%, I managed to do that. Secondly, I really did not get into the temptation of every IPO or every new fund offer or every finfluencer's or tip that came along the way, and I stuck to my good old way of investing for the long term. So I really pretty much did not disturb most of my investments. Third thing that I did well is that I really always have this buffer fund where I earmark an amount in the beginning of the year that ye amount jo hai I'm going to keep only for experimenting. I did experiment and invested in some new kind of stocks, and I think I did not do too badly at all. Well, if these are things that I did well, do you want to know what did I do bad? But before I move to the bad news, the last piece of good news, which I think is most significant, that I kept on my mantra that I have been practicing for the whole life, that whatever I earn, I will first invest, then I will save, then I will spend. So, I'm pretty much relaxed in whatever expenditure that I go through. But then, okay, what is one thing that I really did, something that I feel I shouldn't have done? There was a coaching course that I actually enrolled in, and it costed a couple of lakhs. And for that momentary, I don't know what was I thinking really, and I can't even believe I'm sharing with all of you. I just felt like it will be a good idea to pay it through credit card because I'm going to get a lot of reward points, and I had something in mind to buy with those reward points. So I ended up spending that course intentionally to buy that course through a credit card. Oh boy, but then that did put me in a bit of trouble in the last year, where I had to really tighten my purse strings for some months to ensure that the payments are kept up very, very correctly. I literally had to do a balance transfer between two of my credit cards so that I really don't fall into the very fearful debt trap. So yes, would I really want to repeat that? No, probably never again. I will make sure I probably break an investment or so, or a fixed deposit or so, and still pay rather than just get into a credit card debt, right? So how am I going to plan my 24-25? Well, the first thing that I'm going to do is do a month-wise plotting of all my expenses, the regular expenses. That when am I probably going to give bonuses to my house help or my teams or anything at all, an expectation of a family function or anything at all. Secondly, also plot all the regular expenses like all my insurance payments. That's very super critical. You don't want your policies to be lapsed. I have a retirement plan, I have a term plan, I most definitely have a health plan, and I also have a cash plan. So to ensure that all these four and all my investment SIPs run smoothly. So number one, do the entire month-wise plotting of all my expenses. Number two, don't miss out on the fundamentals that I have been following so far, which is increase this year's investment more than 20% of last year. Every year I have followed this rule where I have invested consistently 20% in the current year than what I have done in the last year. Now this is a discipline I have tried to follow my best, regardless of how much money I have made or not made. Yes, before you wonder why that could happen, it's because I'm an entrepreneur, and entrepreneurial cycle is very different than a salaried cycle. If you're a salaried individual out there, honestly, this should be much more easy for you to handle. So yes, I'll invest 20% more compared to the last year. Number 3, I'll also see what are some really big bulk investments that I will probably need for myself. Example, God willing, if it launches, there's a specific vehicle I want to buy this year, so I will need some money for that, down payment of that. Secondly, I will most probably move my home, so to buy white goods or towards the moving expenses, I will need some money for that. So yes, to be able to actually not break any of my other investments, I will see what best I can do to manage my money even for a time horizon of 6 months to 9 months, so that I still make slightly more interest rather than a regular fixed deposit, and definitely not savings bank. Last but not the least, I will continue following the mantra earn, invest, save, then spend, so that I really am not worried about where am I going to splurge. One thing that I will not do is, of course, repeat what I did in the last year. Completely have a tight control in how I manage my credit card spends. Since we're in the start of April, literally on the 5th of April, well, I think this is a great preparation as of now. Maybe 6 months down the line, I will see what else will I have to share with regards to your money management in the financial year. I hope these tips were helpful to you. If yes, please don't forget to comment, like, share, and subscribe to my channel, Slate with Anita. Thank you for watching. I hope to come back to you with yet another helpful topic and help you make a lot more moolah.